Hello again, and welcome back to part B of lecture 6 about star-forming galaxies. This one is going to be about starburst galaxies. In the last lecture, we looked at the star-forming main sequence, this broad correlation that there statistically is between mass and star formation rate in most star-forming galaxies that we observe in the universe. But as we can see, there are also galaxies that fall above this general correlation in the mass SFR diagram. And these are the ones that we call starburst galaxies, because these level of starbursts you can see that are sometimes 10 or even more times higher than the upper part of the star forming main sequence. This level of star formation is not sustainable for a very long time. So these galaxies are often going through a rapid, you get it, burst of star formation that is extremely intense but will not last for very long. I usually think of this in terms of the way you can be striking a match and you have this initial flare as the flame flares up, and then afterwards it settles down to a more sustainable burning rate. It is something kind of similar that we see in starburst galaxies. Starbursts can happen in many locations and places in a galaxy. They can happen in the center of a galaxy, in which case we call them nuclear starbursts, as we see an example of right here. They can also happen in compact regions in less central parts of the galaxies. For example, the starburst known as Markarian 71, or as we see here, the one called 30 Doradus, which is sitting in the outskirts of the Large Magellanic Cloud. 30 Doradus is, which I think I also said at an earlier occasion, is a brilliant and extremely bright, extremely young starburst episode that we are very privileged to be able to observe so close to us and in so great detail. Starbursts can also be galaxy-wide or almost galaxy-wide, as we see here in the so-called antennae galaxies. This is a pair of colliding galaxies. You can almost see it actually with one of the galaxies here and the other galaxy here. You can also see that these two colliding galaxies initially had quite different stellar populations, with the one down here being clearly redder, older, less gas-rich, and more extended than up here. But now that they have collided, the star formation activity, the quite frantic star formation activity, I should say, seems to be going on pretty much everywhere in this galaxy pair. And it is a large galaxy pair. This is like a colossal and very intense starburst episode. Finally, there can also be other configurations. For example, this one, which is one of my absolute favorites. It is called the Cartwheel Galaxy. And what happens here is that you can see that this galaxy here in the background seems to just be a background galaxy. But this galaxy here and this galaxy here seem to have collided with each other in the past, with this one flying pretty much directly through the bullseye that you can see here. And this has also apparently happened at a rather large velocity, and it seems like it has been sparking star formation in both of the interacting galaxies, particularly with this brilliant ring of star formation and young, massive, bright stars forming like a wheel with some spiral arms here forming the spokes in this cartwheel. I think this is a super, super cool object, and I'm really fascinated by it. Anyway, that was it for part 2. This was a short little one, but thank you for staying with me anyway, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.